So you're looking for a beginner's guide to homeschooling and you clicked on this video. Well, this is exactly what you're looking for. This is your Beginner's Guide 101 Guide to Homeschooling. This is actually video 2 of a 3-part series. I'll stick video 1 down there, up here as well. Click on that if you haven't seen it. If you have, you're in the right place. Awesome! My name is Leilani. I am a former public and private school teacher. I am a current homeschool mom of 4 beautiful kids, and I am also a homeschool evaluator for the state of Florida for homeschool parents. I've done that for over 7 years. So in the last video, we talked about homeschool laws, we talked about what curriculum to pick out for your first year, planning, materials, organization, all that kind of stuff. This one is when you are established and you're getting going and you just want to learn how to navigate your way through this homeschool world, which can totally be intimidating. It is. Well, I'm going to help you navigate through some of that and show you how you can make your way and get what you need easier so you're not wasting a lot of time reading through fluff, so to speak. I'm also going to talk about your child's learning style, your teaching style. They're not going to be the same, or they might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. And we're also going to talk about some of those homeschool philosophies out there and how to find the one that clicks best with you. Now, in my 3rd video, I am going to be talking more about finding more curriculum, digging into it a little bit more, also talking about the socialization, the homeschool co-ops, play dates, extras, and conventions, as well as answer questions from you guys that you leave in the comment section down below from video 1 and from video 2. So if you have any questions, leave them in there. I'm not going to do the 3rd video until I get some good questions from you guys. So let's just get started right now talking about what you need to do as you are going through that first year of homeschooling. First things first is trust the curriculum that you picked out. You probably put a lot of time and effort to find out the curriculum that you want to use for your first year, so just trust it. All of us worry about, even seasoned homeschool moms, worry about whether or not we are teaching our kids enough, whether they're learning enough, whether the curriculum's good enough. I mean, we all question those things. It's going to come up. You're going to think about it. Just remind yourself to trust your curriculum. Of course, second of all, you want to write while you're homeschooling down somewhere. That's just one that everybody gives. It's a good reminder to remind you why you're homeschooling, so when you're discouraged one day, you could just remind yourself why you're homeschooling. Now's the time also that you should be really paying attention to your kids. You're going to notice that there's certain things that they gravitate towards, certain ways that you teach them. Maybe they like reading a lot of books. Maybe they like it when they're playing with manipulatives. Maybe they like to listen to music while they're doing work. All these little things you just need to observe. If you're a writer, write it down, like jot it down in a notebook. My child really likes to play with manipulatives to get through their math assignment. It really seems to help them. Or my child cannot stand writing things down, or my child loves writing things down. You write all these things down so you can remember them. And these are learning techniques, learning styles, so to speak. And we all have, we all can do all of them, but there is 1 or 2 that tend to be a little bit we're stronger with, It's our thing, so to speak. And you have one too. You're a teacher. You teach the way you learn, so you're going to find out your learning style as well. Let me just do a little run through on the 4 basic ones. We have those visual learners. Those are the kids that like to learn with the charts and the graphs and the movies, the photos, basically anything that they can visually see. Then you got the auditory learners that are going to hear things with music and sound and podcasts and radio shows, and they like to listen to learn. Books, they like to hear books being read out loud, lectures, those kind of things. Then you got your kinesthetic learners. Those are your hands-on people that like to touch and feel and move things around. Activities, experiments, games, even the people like to doodle on their page and even writing the stuff down that imprints. They like to get involved with what's being taught. They just don't want to listen or see. They want to do. Oh, and the bonus one, which is the reading and the writing learner specifically, and it is what it is. They learn from books and blogs and journals, writing summaries, anything that involves words and pages. It could be either like on print or on the computer. Now, of course, there are tons and tons of different learning style thoughts out there. That's a basic one that most people can agree to. If you really want to get nerdy, you can look up the Gardner Multiple Intelligence Chart. I'll find a link and stick it down there below. But that stuff's pretty cool, especially when you find out which one you are. But once you find out your learning style, regardless of what you use, you can start understanding yourself as a learner and a teacher, and you can understand your kids as little learners. And then you can start to gear, no matter what curriculum you have, you can start to gear towards that learning style. If your child is an auditory learner and you find that it's, difficult for them to learn how to read, maybe you can read to them and have them follow along with their finger, or do more audiobooks. There's always little tiny ways that you can kind of adjust the curriculum to help your little learners. You're not changing the curriculum, but you spend a little bit more time on that learning style to help them learn. It does get complicated, but let's just think basic. Think basic. Audio, visual, kinesthetic, and then the reader and writers. Stuff with the words and the books and the journals and all that fun stuff. And think back to when you were in school and how you were exposed to all those different things when you were learning. Think how you can expose your kids to those things as you're going through the curriculum. And what gets really fun is when all the kids all have different learning styles, and you do too. That's lots of fun. And you just teach all of them. Make sure you touch on each one. And that's kind of my household though. But it is good to be strengthening those that have weak areas too. Like if they're not a visual learner, it's good for them to get some of that visual stuff, because it's good to strengthen all of them, be well-rounded, that kind of stuff. And move on to the next thing, which is those homeschool philosophies that you guys hear so much about all the time, and you're like, maybe that's right for me, maybe that's wrong for me. Look, there's some big ones. I'm going to talk about the big ones, but don't just jump in to the one that you hear first, because it's going to sound like a really good idea. It will. Or it might not. But here's the thing, let's say your friend is really into the classical method and you just want to be with your best friend because, she has kids, you had kids, and they'll hang out together. Well, if that's not your kid's learning style, because learning styles do play into this, it's going to be hard. It just doesn't click with some kids, and it may not click with you even though it clicks with your best friend. Your kids are going to find friends elsewhere where they feel like they connect more within that. Now, classical conversations, don't get me wrong, classical method, amazing. And I actually use some classical curriculum out there, IAW. I'll just stick a link down below if you haven't heard about that one. Why not? Anywho, let's run through those homeschool philosophy, starting with the traditional philosophy or method. Let's just call it traditional method. This is the one you probably know, especially if you yourself went to public school, because public schools, they use this. That's your simple textbook, quizzes, tests, readings, worksheets. That's it. Traditional. It's traditional. And let me give you some popular curriculum that use it. Abeka, Alpha Omega Publication, BJU, Christian Liberty Press, Knotgrass, and Saxton Math. That's pretty much traditional. The classical method. Now this is the one that I mentioned before. This is a very Socratic type method. Basically, it's this belief in the 3 phases of learning. Concrete, which is going to be your kindergarten through 5th grade. Analytical, which is 6th through 8th grade. And abstract, which is going to be high school. Language is the focal point of classical education, so there's a lot of stuff with the grammar and even Latin. They also like to link all the subjects together, which is actually really nice. Learning is through words, writing, and speaking, not necessarily pictures, visual things. So those of the kids that are, visual learners, this might not be the best fit for them. Just a little observation there. Some classical method type curriculum can include IEW, Institute for Excellence in Writing, Biblioplan, Story of the World, Well-Trained Mind, Memorial Press, Veritas Press, just to name a few of them. And I know a lot of you are probably already typing things down there that I missed. Go for it, please. Please go for it. Charlotte Mason. Now this one was founded on Christian beliefs because Charlotte Mason herself was a Christian and she wanted to teach to the whole child. She believed that the Bible was highest form of information, of knowledge. However, it has evolved, so there is some secular Charlotte Mason stuff out there. A student of Charlotte Mason enjoys books, nature studies, books, reading, journaling, crafts, sewing, scriptures. Also, there is a high appreciation for the arts and art and painting that is just huge within the Charlotte Mason method. There's a lot of habit forming for the child, discipline, like I said, the entire child. And when I think of the Charlotte Mason method, I think a lot of, artistic beauty, a lot of wandering in the woods, observing nature, and a lot of sitting around in a circle, cuddling with mom and reading books together. That and Christian foundation. That's what I think of when I think of Charlotte Mason. Now, some curriculum that is very Charlotte Mason: My Father's World, The Good and the Beautiful, Ambleside Online, Apologia, Master Books, Simply, Charlotte Mason, and Truth Quest. That's just to name a few. I mean, of course, any living book that you pick up is basically Charlotte Mason. Unschooling! Oh, unschooling. I do love unschooling. Unschooling is this idea of child-led learning. It is not let your child do whatever they want to do and just follow their lead. Unschooling is child-led learning. Parents are not the teachers. They are there to guide their child as they explore the world around them and help provide information to build their education. It's a very, very hard job to unschool if you want to do it right, because you have to do a lot of research, you have to do a lot of digging and provide the things for your children that they show interest in. But it is 100% child-led learning. And I can't really give you any curriculum that follows the unschooled method because there isn't. But the unschooled method of homeschooling is very, very popular. And in my opinion is, like I said, one of the hardest ways to school your children, homeschool your children, if you're gonna do it right. The next one is the unit study method. Now, this is the idea where you are going to focus on one particular topic that you have in mind, and you are going to interweave all the different subjects into that topic. So let's take, for example, that your child is fascinated with animals, specifically sea creatures. They love the ocean, they love the animals. So you are going to spend a period of time, whether it's 6 weeks, whether it's 9 weeks, really whether it's, if you want to do a whole year of animal studies in the ocean, that's also an option. But the point is that you read books about the ocean, you read books about animals, you write stories about animals. All your writing is focused on those topics. You're learning about the science behind the ocean, oceanography. You're learning about, maybe you'll dissect a few of the ocean creatures, take a vacation to the beach and look for shells and do that kind of stuff. It's very just focused on that one topic. We did one time, I did during 6 weeks, I think it was 6 weeks, or was it, I don't remember what it was. We spent a time where we just did botany. That's it. I didn't do anything but botany and then math, and I think they did piano too. But I made a whole video on that where we unit studied botany, and it was amazing. I'm gonna stick a link right up there as well as the description box below. So if you're interested in seeing that to get a little taste of what unit study looks like, you can check out that video. Some popular homeschool curriculum that is very unit study-esque would be the Gather Round curriculum, and there's another one called Weaver. And also IEW has some stuff that is unit study. They have themed writing curriculum. So like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, a unit study on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, pretty awesome. And the last one I'm going to mention is eclectic homeschooling. And pretty much it is what it is. It's you're pulling from all different styles and incorporating it into your home and making it kind of your thing. That's kind of what we do too, actually. We put a little bit of classical here, a little bit of unschooling there, a little bit of Charlotte Mason and unit study, and we tie it into a little bow and surprise, happy homeschooling birthday. That's kind of what we do. Of course, this is not a complete list. I'm sure there's many, many more that pop up here and there that are some homeschool philosophies, but these are the main ones. These are the ones that you are going to see and hear about when you're talking to your friends. Take some time to really just look at them. Don't just run with the first one you hear about, because there may be another one that just really, really, it speaks to you and your family. And you have a whole year while you're doing your curriculum and homeschooling your kids to really just get to know which one you think you're gonna like the best. And what's funny, when you're homeschooling for that first year, you're gonna find things within that curriculum that you're using that you like and that you don't like. And that's your chance to get online and start asking people and having discussions with other families about it. And so I'm going to talk more about those co-ops and about those social media places that you can go to find out more information on homeschooling, and just we're going to talk about all that stuff in video 3. Do know there's lots of resources out there and lots of people willing to talk to you about it. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. And until then, I'm going to see you in video 3, or actually the next video won't be video 3. The next video will be something else because I need some time to think about your questions that you guys are gonna ask, right? Comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you go ahead and do so, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. See you at our next video. Bye.